From your perspective, is that the true situation? Are there persons who are weaponizing insecurity to make others look bad as it is?
Yes, sincerely, that statement that she made is a heavy one. And I absolutely agree with her that we cannot have socio-economic development without security. And also we cannot have security without infrastructural development. But the interesting thing in the whole of this speech is the fact that this is not the first time that we are going to see a caliber of public figure like Okonjo-Iweala to point attention to the insecurities that we are facing in Nigeria. And let me cast your mind back to some of the challenges we've been facing way back around 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015. The bulk of this insecurity was domiciled in the northeastern part of Nigeria. That's where you are talking about Borno State, Yobe, Adamawa, and the operation of Boko Haram then. Then while we were still combating that terrorism challenge, suddenly another monster came up in the northwest, which is banditry. And this banditry started spreading from a part of Kaduna State to Zamfara, to Katsina, even to Niger State now. And I think in the midst of all this, we have heard several security reports, even in the past 10, 15 years, alluding to the fact that there are state actors contributing to these insecurities, especially the banditry that is going on along that Zamfara axis. We have also heard reports and also allegations that some political actors are fueling some of these insecurity challenges to further their chances of exploring mineral resources at the loss of the federal government. So it's a multi-dimensional challenge. We cannot outrightly point finger at a sabotage against federal government. The insecurity we're talking about that we are dealing with is multifaceted. So there is an aspect we can say yes, like she alluded, that political actors are using insecurity to create crises for government so that governance may be difficult. Yes, she may be correct, okay? Because right now, we are actually not making reference to any fact or figure, either released by the National Security Advisor Office or Nigeria military. But there are insinuations on ground. We have seen some political actors make some statements in the past 10, 15 years. There are even some statements that were flying around during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan, when some people say, if you make peaceful change impossible, and you definitely have violent change. You know, so we've had people talking tough and people making threats. But the saddest part of all of this is that I believe those who are in charge at the national level, the political leadership that we have not really done enough to subdue the insecurity challenges we're facing. There are names that have been mentioned, there are people that have been fingered, especially in the banditry that is ravaging the Northwest. There are ex-governors that have been names have been mentioned There are people that have been, so we have not seen enough action in addressing this challenge. And so the speech was a fantastic one, but it's not the first. And probably it's not going to be the last. So what we are seeing happening in Nigeria still remain window dressing. We keep talking about these issues and we are not seeing action.
So in the past few years, we've seen a change of government, different political parties come into power. And now that we're talking about some persons weaponizing this insecurity situation, if this were true, what exactly do they stand to gain from this? And perhaps what notion, what message are they trying to pass to the opposition?
Well, at this point, we really need to talk about the issue of patriotism. You know, it's the key issue here. If anybody is patriotic, it shouldn't ever have to think of sabotaging the security structure of a country to prove a point politically. And if you go into election and you lose, you have the chance to wait another 4 years to come out again and recontest. So if we have a political elite who are at the national level and at the state level trying to manipulate the security network or orchestrate chaos so that the incumbent, either as a state governor or as a president, can be rated abysmal failing in their responsibility. So it's a sad one. So we actually need to emphasize more on what it takes to be patriotic as a Nigerian politician. And that is what I see that is lacking here in this discourse. Our people are going into politics like a do or die. People want to do everything possible to win power. And when they lose election, they don't take defeat in good faith. They want to make sure they rubbish whoever is in government. And this issue is not a national issue alone. So we have the fallout of it in some states as well. And we can see what is happening in the Northwest. So we have people's names that have been mentioned. So we have former governors that have been fingered in some illegal activities in the exploration of mineral resources. And the government has not taken enough action to arrest people and to also, show a strong hand in dealing with some of these issues. Nowadays, you see some of these bandits on TikTok, posting videos of the money they collect from ransom. And you can wonder, a country like Nigeria, with the kind of intelligence gathering technology that we have, we should do more. We should be able to have gone after all these guys and arrested many of them by now. So it's a sad one. But at the center of this is this call for patriotism. If our politicians are patriotic, they don't need to waste lives to prove points to each other. They don't need to create insecurity. And the effect of all these things we're talking about, people who not access their farmland, they all indirectly affect the socio-economic development of the country. So we need to make more calls for our politicians to abide by the tenet of democracy.